Hi everyone, I am the Organised Medic and I am here to talk about my 2026 planner lineup Saga. It's been quite some time since I've done a planning video, so I'm excited to kind of get back into filming in 2026. So I guess just to reintroduce myself, I am a functional planner. I work full time. I also have 2 children and a husband, so they demand a lot of my time and attention as well. So I really would not know what to do if I did not have a quite robust planning system. I do a bit of digital planning, but my mainstay of planning is analog paper planning. I'm quite a tactile person. I like the leather, I like the paper. And so I have always used paper planners since a long time ago. So I have different areas of planning. I have my work planner. I often have a sort of a separate planner that complements that that's more personal. I like to have a journal sometimes, not always, but there are periods when I like to journal as well. I also have other areas, so finance, childcare planning, faith planning, but for this video, I'm going to focus mainly on my work planner, which is really my main planner and the headquarters of my organisation. So in the past for my work planner, I have used many different things. I started off many years ago using a rings planner, Filofax, and then sort of went from ring planning systems to travelers notebooks. And then of course I moved to the bound books. So I have used Erin Condren in the past. And also I have used the Hobonichi Cousin, which I used, I think 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, I switched to the Sterling Ink, and last year, 2025, I also used the Sterling Ink Common Planner. So the thing that I liked so much about the Sterling Ink Common Planner is that it is similar to the Hobonichi Cousin, where you have all of your monthlies together. Okay, guys, at this point, I open my planner and share some of the content inside. And the intention was to blur this stuff out, but I quickly realised on editing that it would be far too difficult to blur out all of the sensitive information inside my planner. So I'm afraid I've had to cut out all of the parts where I open the planner. I will, however, do another video where I show you how I use my work planner using some mock-up pages. There are some pages in December, weekly and daily pages, that I haven't used, and so I can do kind of a mock-up and show you that. But I'm afraid I have had to sort of cut some of the content out of this video because, yes, the editing would have just been insane. Back to the video. In September, probably actually in August, there was an announcement from Catherine, who owns Sterling Ink, that they were going to be launching a new planner called the Complete Planner. And the difference with this is rather than having all of your monthlies up front, followed by all of your weeklies, and then followed by all of the empty pages that you can use for dailies, it was going to be, you'd have a month page, January, followed by the first week of January, followed by the 7 days, the next week, followed by those daily pages. So it was that kind of just, progressive month, weekday, month, weekday, month, weekday. Now, I was very excited about this because it reminds me of back in the day when I used to do my ring binder planning. And I really enjoyed that because I would have my rings, I would have my monthly page followed by the week. I often printed out my own weeklies and hole punched them. But if I had a weekly page, say I had a meeting, I would just take A5 inserts, just lined paper, and I would write my notes about that meeting and put it within that week. And so if it was a couple of months later and someone says, well, what was discussed in that meeting? I could just open to that particular week and the pages were there from that meeting. It was there in the right place. And so I found it really helpful to retrieve information in the ring planner for that reason. So I thought with the Complete Planner from Sterling Ink, that would be perfect because I would have this kind of temporal order of my notes where, if there's a specific day that the meeting is happening, I would write on that day and then it would be easy for me to just go to that day and find it very easily. And so I was super excited. So of course on launch day, I ordered the Common Planner, the Complete Planner straight away. And I waited for it. So September came and went, October came along, the planner still had not arrived. By the end of October, I was very concerned. I went to the website and it said delivered. So that concerned me even more. And I looked at the address that it had been delivered to and it just said United Kingdom, which I thought was strange. So, of course, long story short, I was going back and forth with Sterling Inc. They were very apologetic and very helpful and said they would try and get me one sent out. But I would also then have lots of replies to my emails that seemed to be AI generated and not really addressing what the question that I'd asked. And while I was waiting, I guess it was getting closer to the end of the year. And in my line of work, we are constantly planning ahead and I needed to plan ahead. So that's one thing I miss about the Hobonichi Cousin, where you actually have monthly pages all the way until March the following year. That's not the case in Sterling Inc. You have January and that's it. So I had events that I had to kind of note down somewhere. I actually did buy this pull-out insert from Filofax where I could note down some future planning bits and pieces. But it wasn't ideal. And then I think it was November time, there was an announcement from Hemlock and Oak that they were launching a weekly daily planner. And the layout was going to be very similar to the complete planner, where you have monthly followed by weekly, followed by daily, followed by monthly, followed by, so that same kind of progression of the days, as opposed to all the months together, all the weeks together, and all the days together. And so I actually saw a review of the Hemlock and Oak weekly daily planner on one of my favorite YouTube planner channels, which is Amanda's Favorites. And I thought, it's now, getting closer to the end of the year and I really need to start planning ahead. And I'm just going to make the decision and buy the Hemlock and Oak. So one thing that is really helpful about Sterling Inc. is that their shipping costs are very affordable. Living in the UK, being based in the UK, there are so many planners that I see online that look amazing. The Erin Condrens, companies like Hemlock and Oak, Cultivate What Matters. I see all of these planners being reviewed, many of them based in the United States and Canada. But then if I try and order them, the shipping costs are often just crazy. So, a shipping could be $100, which, it costs more than the planner sometimes. So 2025, I didn't order any US or Canadian planners at all. I just wanted to save money. I did come across a planner person that I really like as well, who is based in the UK, called Becky. She runs the channel Whoops, I Did It Again. So shout out to her. Becky, your channel is amazing. And I saw her channel and she had all of these planners, American planners, Canadian planners, and all the stickers. I'm thinking, how on earth do you get these in the UK? Do you pay these extortionate shipping costs? And one of her videos, she then talked about a company called Stackery, where you can have a US-based address. You order all of your stationery and planners to that US-based PO box, and then they open it all and package it all together in one box, and then they can send it to you in Europe or the UK or wherever you are. So you're just paying for one shipping cost. So that does save a lot of money. It is still quite expensive because the shipping cost might be, I don't know, $60, which is a lot of money. But you're paying the $60 once for all of the planner items that you have put together, rather than paying £60 or $60 for each item. You're not paying, I'm paying £50 here and £60 there, and that would be too much. So I did want to avoid high shipping costs altogether this year, but when I had no planner at all, and it was now November, I just became a little bit down, and I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, actually, I'm not going to be happy if I don't have a planner that brings me joy. So I thought, I'm going to just pay the shipping costs, and I'm going to get this planner from Hemlock and Oak ordered to my Stackery inbox. And then if I'm going to order from Hemlock and Oak, that means I'm going to probably order more US based planners, because I'd been holding off. I was very interested in Laurel Denise. I was very interested in Cultivate What Matters, but the shipping was putting me off. But I thought, right, if I'm going to order one, I'm going to have to order all of them. So I did that. And then my Hemlock and Oak arrived. Okay, so this is my Hemlock and Oak. It arrived just before Christmas. So of course it arrived at the Stackery inbox, you know, very quickly. But then I had to wait for everything else to arrive at the Stackery inbox and then have everything shipped to the UK in one go. So I had to wait some time before I could get my hands on it. I think once I had my hands on it, I did contact Sterling Ink and say, you know, I forget about the complete planner. I just take a refund and just draw a line under that. And they were very good, and they refunded me pretty much the next day, so pretty quickly. And I had this. So this is the Hemlock and Oak Weekly Daily 2026. This is in the Enchanted Forest colour, so it's kind of a teal colour. It's quite bright. I like it a lot. By the time I ordered this, many of them were already sold out, so I probably would have gone for a hardcover, but they were gone. So this is called the Cloth Flex cover, so it's kind of a card cover, but it's kind of a textile texture, and it has Hemlock and Oak in the back in gold as well. And it also, you can buy these specific tabs for it, which is nice. The Enchanted Forest tabs were sold out, so this is the slightly different green color, but I thought it was close enough, so I ordered them. And the paper in this is absolutely beautiful. So I'm very used to the Tomoe River paper, which is 52 GSM Sanzen Japanese made river paper. That is Tomoe River paper, which works very well with fountain pens and all types of pens, and it's very thin. This paper is much thicker than that. This is a 70 GSM, so I say much thicker. It's not thick paper. It's still relatively thin, but it's much thicker than Tomoe River paper. This is 70 GSM. I think it's called Archivist paper. It's made in Canada on a Canadian paper mill. It's very smooth paper. It's very white, a slightly cooler white, I think, than the common planner. And it's really nice. And I like their aesthetic as well. I like the grids, the sort of nice light grey grids. Sort of simple, clean aesthetic, which works, I think, quite well in a professional environment. And it also has these monthly goal setting overview pages as well, which I haven't made too much use of yet. But I sort of moved straight into this planner and started setting it up. So you see, I have to plan ahead. But then you now come to the week, and I have my weekly pages, so I can do my weekly timetable. I can use the bottom for important to-dos if need be. But then I had a bit of a shock, because I turned from the weekly expecting to see daily pages, and there were no daily pages. It was week, and then the next week, and then I turn and there's the next week, and then the next week, and then I thought, where are the daily pages? And then I come to the end of all the weeks of this month, and then I get the daily pages. So this is not what I was expecting. I actually thought the layout was the same as the complete planner, where you have 1 week and then you have 7 days, and then you have the next week and 7 days. That's what I thought this was. It isn't that, actually. Am I upset about it? I think I was surprised, and I think initially I thought, oh no, I'm used to it now. I don't mind it too much. It was a bit of a surprise, but I'm actually fine with it now. So that was one surprise that I wasn't expecting with this. The other surprise is, of course, I always use a leather cover for my work planner. So the common planner, I use a leather cover, and the leather covers I tend to use are these veg tan leather covers from Moterm. So I have loads of Moterm covers. I used to get the pebbled leather ones when they came out with a veg tan. I think I've sold all of my pebble leather ones now. I sold them all on Vinted, but I do like having the leather covers, particularly because the planner itself it doesn't come with any ribbons, but the cover itself comes with ribbon. So I can use a ribbon to take me to my specific day, and I can use a ribbon to take me to you know, a notes page that I need to be in. And so I love my leather covers. So I was then horrified to discover that this planner is not a true A5. And, you know, so this is an A5 Sterling Ink notebook, and see how much bigger it is. So it will not fit in an A5 plus Moterm leather cover. So I panicked a little bit and thought, I already knew that the complete planner being a hardcover would probably not fit in one of these anyway, but I had made my peace with it because I thought, actually, it's a hardcover, it has its own ribbons. If I want, I can put a plastic cover on it. I'll use it without a leather cover. This is not a hardcover. It has no ribbons. I'm not such a fan of plastic covers, and I would really like a leather cover for this. So I did a little bit of search online, and it was a Reddit feed that I found. Somebody had mentioned that the Moterm disc planner covers are big enough to fit this. So of course I immediately went on the Moterm website and I ordered the only one they had left in stock, which I think was in the colour Honey, from AliExpress, and I ordered that straight away. It was not, they're not extortionate, but the veg tan leather covers are more expensive. And a few days later, I got an email from Moterm just saying, oh, your leather cover will be back in stock in mid-February. So then I was in a panic because I thought, well, this is gonna get destroyed by mid-February, and why, I ordered the only colour that you had in stock because it was in stock. I wanted it straight away. So that was another sort of saga. And I thought, well, that's really annoying, because if I was going to wait that long, I could have just ordered the colour I wanted, because Honey probably would not have been my first choice. What happened that same day, I had a few boxes that had come the previous day that I needed to open, your usual Amazon deliveries and everything else. And I opened one of them. So this is the same day I got the email. And guess what it was? Ta-da! My Moterm cover. So the same day they sent the email saying that it wasn't going to be available till mid-February, it had arrived the night before, and it had just been downstairs in a box amongst some Amazon boxes unopened, and I opened it. And here it is, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is the vegan leather cover, and it does fit my Hemlock and Oak very nicely. There is quite a bit of space here because, of course, this is for a disc planner, so you would expect to have your discs here. It has two closure studs here, and it also has a pen loop as well, so that's quite nice. And I'm happy with that. I can pop that in my bag. It's big, it's bigger than the A5, but I can pop that in my bag and I can take that to work with me, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been working pretty well. Now, the only problem with this is the disc planner cover does not have any ribbon. Like the A5 Plus covers, it doesn't have that. I'm so used to having that, and not having that, I find it quite tricky to get used to. So I'm trying to decide what to do now. Probably I will get the Hobonichi little brass, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, the little brass page clips, and I'll probably use those and see how it goes. But I'm happy at least I've got a leather cover that fits this. And so, yes, that was the kind of main drama that I went through trying to sort out my work planner for 2026. But that's not the end of the story, because then the following day, I received more boxes and packages, usually from Amazon. But I opened one of the boxes, and lo and behold, what was it? To my utter shock, ta-da! This just arrived. And I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This is the complete planner from Sterling Ink that I had ordered on the 5th of September 2025. And I thought I would never lay my eyes on for the entirety of the year. And it arrived. And, I had already given up. I'd gotten my refund. I'd already invested in this one. I bought the cover and everything else. And this arrived. So I was just so touched. I was so pleased. It's also thrown a huge spanner in the works, because now what do? I know that I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, I've taken it out of the main box, but I haven't opened it beyond this bit. This is where I am. And I will open it and do sort of a proper full unboxing and explore it. But I was so confused as to what do I do? Do I give this to somebody as a gift? Do I sell this? Do I keep this? I want to keep it because I was so excited about it. I want to use it. I want to know whether this is what I will use in subsequent years. And I know that this is going to be 1 month, 1 week, followed by 7 days, followed by another week, followed by 7 days, which is what I was kind of hoping for. But I'm not the kind of person who will say, well, I'll use this for 3 months and then I'll move into... No, I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. As I said in the beginning, I'm a functional planner. I don't want my year to be split between planners. That's going to be very, very disruptive. So I've already set this up. The time I've put into this, I cannot afford to put everything from there to here. I need to think about what I'm going to do with this, and I will address that in my next video. So please make sure you like and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll be alerted to when I release that video. But this was just an amazing surprise, and I was really pleased to receive this. And just before I go, going to talk about one more addition to my work planner system. And I will go through the whole lineup in another video, sort of an overview video. But I guess I wanted to add this to this video because it is related to work. This is actually my brain dump journal. So as part of my stackery order, I did order this from Cultivate What Matters. I'd not seen any reviews on it at all, but it just seemed on the website like something that I could make good use of. It has 3 different sections in it, so I probably will have to blur some things out. They have beautiful aesthetics with Cultivate What Matters. Their products are always really beautifully put together. You have this gold coil ring in the middle. And so you have these journaling brain dump pages. So I'll take you to a blank one. And so you have up here dates, sort of January to December, and then the days across. So you can just circle the month you're on and circle the day you're on and write notes here. And then you have this Eisenhower matrix or whatever they call it, where you can sort of divide into, you know, urgent and important, you know, remember that sort of matrix. But you don't have to do that. You can divide this into anything you want to divide it into. Apologies if you're hearing noise, football is on. Then you have a number of these type of pages, which again, you have the kind of date thing at the top there that you can fill in yourself. And then this is the to-do list. So it's just tasks and due dates. I don't really like the fact that the boxes are filled because I like empty boxes, and I'm inclined probably to draw my own boxes, which would defeat the purpose. I guess it's just a tick box. I like to have an empty box because I would fill it if the task is completely done, or half fill the box if the task is half done. So I'm not crazy about this, but you know, these pages are here and I probably will make good use of them. I haven't really been using them so far. And then you have these pages that are just blank, so you can just do anything on them. So I have found this, I just bought it on a whim as part of my order from Cultivate What Matters. And it's amazing. I use it every single time I'm at work or working from home. As soon as I'm just need to make notes, whether it's in a meeting or whatever, I open it. And you know, when you start writing and something's undated, just having this at the top, I don't have to write the date. I can just circle and circle, and it just makes a difference. I'm much more likely to date it with this than have a complete blank page that I have to date it myself. I tend to forget to date notes myself, whereas with this, I just circle and it's done. And I like that a lot. So I really am enjoying using this as part of my work planner system as my notebook. I like the fact that I can just, these are the pages I'm using the most by far, because I just make meeting notes here, and very quickly as I'm making notes, I start to divide things into 4 different sections. So I use this as well quite a lot. It's early days. It's only sort of the first 2-3 weeks of January, but so far I'm getting so much good use out of this. So my Hemlock and Oak and my Cultivate What Matters brain dump journal pretty much make up my work planner. My Sterling Ink notebook is what I had with my common planner back in 2025, and I will continue to use this because I still have quite a few pages left, and so I can just pop this on this side and have these 2 together, and then have my brain dump journal as well. So I have the both of them. So that's it for now, and I look forward to talking to you more about my 2026 lineup. Bye everyone, have a great day.